From News Channel 21, this is live election coverage.
Hello everyone, I'm Dan McCarthy. It is election day and you still have 2 hours to cast your ballot. We have team coverage for you this afternoon and we start with Wanda Moore, who's following Deschutes County results. She joins us now live from a drop box on Wall Street in Bend. Wanda?
Well, Dan, it's been busy here all day. So busy, in fact, that they tell me they had to close a section of the road here and reroute the cars because they were all blocking Wall Street here. Now it's getting better with the traffic, but you can also still see cars keep pulling up, voters dropping off their ballot. And like Dan said, you have until 8 p.m. to do so. So come on by to one of the drop boxes near you and drop off your ballot. Now, it is a record year in terms of voter registration and party switches. Now we'll see if it is going to be a record voter turnout as well. And here's where we're at right now. Deschutes County has 45% of the ballots returned, Jefferson County 42. It is an important night here for Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, especially for the Sanders campaign, because they need every win they can get at this point. Sanders said in an interview today a high voter turnout would translate into a win for his campaign, and they need every delegate they can get. Today at the Sanders headquarters in Tumalo, they were gearing up for an eventful night. Sanders is the only presidential candidate with a campaign office in Central Oregon, and volunteers there say it isn't over until it's over.
Well, we've been very busy, and we are out canvassing today. We're out knocking on doors. We want to make sure people get their ballots in.
Tonight we'll tell if that strategy is paying off, and Kentucky is also at stake. Now, it's going to take until 8 p.m. for us to get results in. They're going to trickle in around that time, so keep it on KTVZ.com and on KTVZ for the latest election results. And you still have until 8 p.m. to come on by and drop a ballot off for the latest information on that and what the closest location for a drop box is. Go to KTVZ.com as well. Dan, back to you.
Wanda Moore joining us from Bend. Thank you, Wanda. And in the race for the White House, it's primary day in Kentucky as well as Oregon, and it's proven to be a test for Hillary Clinton. Can she break the winning streak of Bernie Sanders? Steve Handelsman has the latest.
Leading up to the primary vote today in Kentucky, Hillary Clinton reached out to Democrats, even to coal mining families who hate her push to switch to cleaner fuels.
I am the only candidate with a plan, a $30 billion plan to help coal country.
She's campaigned hard in Kentucky, trying to keep Bernie Sanders from beating her again.
I think she understands the state is in play. My guess it's going to be a close election.
Maybe in Oregon, too, where voters mail in ballots for today's primary. Her concern is momentum for the November election.
The weaker that she looks, the more vulnerable that she looks, the more difficult it will be for her to amass a wide coalition against Donald Trump.
In a new ad, a pro-Clinton super PAC mocks Trump's comments about women.
I view a person who's flat-chested is very hard to be attacked.
Trump called it amazing that Hillary could do an ad concerning women when her husband Bill, in Trump's words, was the worst abuser of women in U.S. political history. The Clinton lead over Trump narrowed to just 3 points nationally in today's NBC News SurveyMonkey online poll. More motivation for Clinton to notch a couple of wins tonight. I'm Steve Handelsman, NBC News, Washington.
And of course, if we hear of results in Kentucky, we will update you as soon as we can. Now, to more of our local races, Crook County could see major changes in leadership as a dozen candidates are running for a variety of positions. That's where we find News Channel 21's Pedro Quintana. He's live from the county courthouse with more tonight. Pedro?
Dan, good evening. The clerk's office is counting the early ballots already turned in, and she tells me she expects a higher voter turnout compared to the 2014 election. She says one race that's attracting voters is the Crook County judge race. Now, 3 candidates are running to take over Mike McCabe's job. He's the current judge who's been judge for several years. 2 current commissioners, Ken Falgren and Seth Crawford, are in the race, including businessman Craig Brookhart. Now, one candidate, Seth Crawford, has raised and spent thousands of dollars on his campaign. Now, several local leaders have endorsed Falgren's campaign, including Prineville's Mayor Betty Roby. Crawford has also gotten endorsements from state leaders as well. Now, if none of the candidates are able to get more than 50%, the top 2 vote getters will face off in the November general election. Now, as of right now, there's currently 53% of the ballots has been returned, and we're expecting the first results of the ballots at 8 o'clock tonight. And also we'll have updates coming up tonight at 8 and also at 9 o'clock. Now, as coming up tonight at 6:30, we'll have an update as well for our viewers at home. For now, Dan, we'll send it back to you.
Pedro Quintana joining us from Prineville tonight. Thank you, Pedro. One of the hottest issues in Oregon's primary is a battle over bottled water playing out in the Columbia River Gorge. Residents of Hood River County are voting on a ballot measure that would block Nestle from building a bottled water plant in Cascade Locks. Town leaders, many of the residents, supporting the idea because it would create jobs that are badly needed. But Nestle's plan has drawn opposition from orchard owners, Native American tribes, and some residents. And for all of your latest political coverage, including up-to-date numbers on our primary this evening, you can head to KTVZ.com. Let's turn to our forecast now. An above-average day across the high desert, but will the sunshine stick around? Emily Kirk joins us with a look ahead tonight. Emily?
Well, Dan, the short answer to that is get out and enjoy it while you can, because change is inevitable here in Central Oregon. And really, we're enjoying sunshine east of the Cascades. We are watching these high, thin clouds push into the Willamette Valley this evening, but we will remain mostly sunny across the high desert. By sunset tonight, we will be able to see the sun. No problems there, but we will start to see high, thin clouds push through as well. Smoke was really noticeable across the high desert today in the low-lying elevations. Mostly sunny skies overhead. Today's highs, we got into the 70s once again, so above average today across the high desert. We'll see that again tomorrow, but cooler temperatures on the way as soon as Thursday. I've got your details coming up in just a few minutes. For now, Dan, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Emily, thanks. We'll see you then. Oregon State University suspended one of its fraternities for the next 5 years. They're suspending Alpha Gamma Rho for hazing and harassment incidents dating back to 2012. The incidents involved alcohol consumption, inappropriate slapping and touching, and keeping members in rooms being blasted with loud music. The frat did not appeal that suspension. Members of law enforcement agencies across the region today held their annual Central Oregon Law Enforcement Memorial Ceremony. The event memorializes Oregon and officers across the country who have lost their lives in the line of duty. The public was invited to attend the event. It took place at the Bend Heroes Memorial in Brooks Park in Bend. The event featured guest speakers, honor guard flag presentations, and a 21-gun salute.
Each day these officers answered duty's call, fully knowing the hazards of their chosen profession. Some were doing so in a second career as military veterans, having returned from foreign battlefields, swearing a second oath, and continuing their public service willingly and voluntarily.
A proclamation signed by President Kennedy 54 years ago designated the week of May 15th each year as Peace Officers Memorial Week. When we come back, Emily Kirk has your full forecast. And coming up in sports this afternoon, the final round of the 5A Boys State Golf Tournament at Twisting Tree Golf Club. News Channel 21 Sports Director Femi Abibithe was there. He's got the highlights coming up tonight.